winging this. I don't know when the best time. Let's do power infusion, because I'm scared I'm gonna fall out. And fuck. Don't fall out, don't fall out, don't fall out, don't fall out. Yeah, I hit the wrong keybind. Dude, I feel like I pressed my button like 10 fucking times before my GCD goes off. Alright, let's give it some time. We'll give some time for Voidform to give me some haste. Give me some haste, give me some haste. Let me refresh my dots. Let me refresh my dots. Alright, it's still fucking slow. 20 stacks. I'm gonna fall out. I'm gonna fall out. It's so fucking slow still. But what the fuck? Alright, let's do Legion. Let's go back. Let's go back. I've been going back and forth on this, and like, what is in my head and versus what's not in my head here. I'm at 6 stacks and it's already starting to feel smooth. Yeah. I wonder why that is. You know why? I know exactly why this is. It's called haste and void form. Like, that's what we need. It's all it needs. Hey, what's up, Shadow Priest buddies? So today I am going to show you a new tool that's available to us. It's called the Voidform Optimizer, and a shadow buddy of mine developed this so that we can experience the alpha without actually having alpha access. And it's kind of a nice tool, not just to, of course, play the new expansion. We're interested in Shadow, right? If you're watching this, you have a high stake in Shadow Priest, one way or the other. Alpha plays like shit, so we hear, so this lets us experience that for ourselves, and it lets us kind of test why is it shit, right? Let's contrast Legion, right? Let's contrast BFA. Let's contrast BFA as if we had a shit ton of secondary stats and gear on top of it. Mostly haste still lets us adjust. And what does the spec need to be healthier baseline? I can tell you BFA baseline Shadow Priest is in way worse shape than baseline Shadow Priest in Legion. The tool actually confirms my suspicion there, and it lets you experience this for yourself. I'll get into that in the demo. But the point of this tool, and we're so fortunate that, you know, we have this tool available to us, we need to... Voidform's here to stay. So regardless whether or not you're a fan of Voidform or not, right? We need to rally. We need to get on the same sheet of music to some degree. Rather than giving Blizzard a whole laundry list of things to do, we need to do what's in front of us. We have an expansion coming in 6 months. Less than 6 months. Their opportunities for making changes is shrinking. So what can we channel? Let's channel our energy into a couple of things that we need Blizzard to do. If we overcomplicate this feedback to Blizzard, we're going to continue to get nothing out of them. Tell them what will make you happy with small changes, and this tool can help you figure that out, because I think if you kind of go the way I'm going, I don't think it takes very much to make the spec play well. But everyone's different, so the tool's available to you to figure out what do you need to make it fun for you. Alright, so let me show you how to use the tool and give you a quick demo and kind of the feelings that I'm getting a little bit from it so far. Won't spoil you too much on that, but so the very first thing I would recommend doing, go to import export, and you can apply templates. And when you apply the template, you can choose to carry over keybinds you might have already set up and just hit import, and it will copy over all the custom settings for all of the abilities. So some of the pre-built ones here, you have live, alpha, and Legion settings, and you could do like a custom one that you might have saved from before. Same thing with exporting, by the way. Just hit export, copy this into a clipboard, and you're good to go. Abilities and keybinds, it works just like the game. You click this, and you know, I am not using 5, we'll do bind to 5. See how it said successfully bound to 5. I'm gonna put it back real quick to 2, so I just click it and hit 2. Just like the game. The other thing is down here at the bottom, there's an order. So I wanted to see it Mind Blast first, then Mind Flay. So the order buttons down here is what you see in the UI. Pretty intuitive stuff, nothing too fancy. So let's get into this. What I did is I'm like, alright, let's compare the alpha. Let me close this for now. This tab here, with Devouring Plague, obviously, is the alpha. And this here is Legion. And I'm choosing to contrast Legion instead of BFA in particular, because Shadowlands has a lot of the BFA values carrying over, versus Legion seem to be a little healthier baseline. Believe it or not, both expansions, or every expansion since Shadow came out, the external systems is what props it up. Like, there's no question, Legion included. But the question is, what does the spec need to be healthy? And this tool can help us figure that out, right? So for now, let's just baseline Alpha to Legion, because the Alpha is pretty bad right now, and that's the consensus. So let's see for real, we can play it. I think that's what's cool about this tool, is we can figure that out for ourselves. So let's do a quick playthrough on the Alpha. So if you notice, I'm at 51 Insanity. I can cast Devouring Plague real quick. Okay. When I cast Devouring Plague, I'm jumped down to 1 Sanity. Obviously, if I was in Void form there, I would have just maybe dropped right out. I'm not going to get into playstyles with Devouring Plague. I'll let you guys play with that, but it's mostly a choice, right? You either play with Devouring Plague like this, or we can choose to go into Void form if it's going to be a longer duration encounter. I think that's what Blizzard's like, you know, intention. But what I want to do in this demo today is at least look at Void form itself. So let's do Void form. And what I'm doing is trying to feel how does it play, and there is no question that this is very, very, very slow. Just like 8.0, right? Just like 8.0. Very, very slow. I'm at 17 stacks of Void form. I'm about to drop. It still feels slow, even in the top end of my Void form there. Let's jump and check Legion. All right, let's do Legion. All right, Legion. And full disclaimer here, I put Legion at 25% starting haste. And I only did 16% on the Alpha because that's what BFA 8.0 launched with, and I have no reason to believe it'll be different. But there were more secondary stats walking into the very first raids here in BFA, and I am worried about that, but... So I'm starting to feel the speed at 20 stacks. I can feel this. It's making me feel like I want to hang on to that Void form. It's tricking me. I mean, that's how Void form works. It's meant to rope you in, and I really think that's important to the gameplay. I'm not going to go in again because we're going to have Lingering Insanity. We already know how Lingering Insanity works, and it snowballs that feeling. But if the first Void form can feel good, then I think we're in a good place to start. So, but I didn't get that on the Alpha. I didn't get that feeling, and we didn't have it in BFA either. It took a shit ton of like 8.2 and 8.3 systems to get us there. The point of this tool is so that we can evaluate Shadow in its baseline. If it's fun baseline, then we're protected from hating the game. I know Blizzard doesn't agree with us, but they need to see this. Like, it's important that we communicate. Because the Covenant, guys, the Covenants, it's 4 Covenants. They're not going to give us all of the secondary stats that 8.2 gave us, or 8.3 for that matter. It's like, here's some abilities and here's some damage. It's not going to feed Void form the way 8.2 and 8.3 fed Void form. I don't see anything on Shadowlands Alpha that's going to help us get to an 8.2 and 8.3 status and how it feels. I think it's like 8.0 territory. There's no question it's 8.0 territory. But anyway, I digress. So, am I imagining this? Like, I'm not, right? It just feels like ass. We'll give it another chance. Let's do Power Infusion. We're going to throw the kitchen sink. Let's do it. Everything at it. The pet, Power Infusion. 10 stacks and it's still garbage. We're gonna do pet. I need Power Infusion already. We're gonna do Power Infusion at 18. That's sort of similar to how Lucid would behave, right? I'm falling out. And it's slow. It needs to respond better to me. Alright, 25 stacks, it seemed to feel like maybe it was getting somewhere. But wait. It only felt good because of Power Infusion. Oh cool, we could be a Shadow Priest every 2 minutes. But why? But why? Why can't every Void form feel good like Legion? Like what? We used to have Power Infusion on top of that shit. When it was the tier to run it, but you know, whatever. Like, yeah, it's the haste, right? So let's dig into that. Let's compare it. So, Void form, if you look on the right-hand side, Voidform here, and let me throw it up the Legion one. Hold on. Okay. Voidform. Legion Voidform is 0.66 drain rate versus 0.68, so we have a higher drain on the Alpha, and as well as BFA also. Legion, we had 1% per stack. And we only get 0.5, we only get 0.5% both in the Alpha and BFA. Now, this is probably, for me as a player, the single most important problem that they'd have to fix. Because we're losing COI, right? And that's fine. Like, listen, COI backloads are damaged. Don't worry about COI going away. What needs to happen is Voidform needs to carry the weight that COI was doing for us in BFA. But in order for the spec to have played good in BFA, we needed, like, essences and shit, right? All the secondary stats from essences and corruption. Even at least 8.2 essences. Like, there was so much shit that they gave us in 8.2. And it was... I'd like to think it's intended. That Blizzard knew that we're starving in secondary stats, but where's that lesson on the Alpha right now? I'm not seeing anything on the Alpha that's going to make this happen for us and make it feel good. What do we have to do? Wait till, like, 9.2 to feel good? Come on, Blizzard. Don't do this to us again. Don't make us fucking hate life for, like, a year. It was a year. We had to wait a year for 8.2. It fucking sucked. Don't get me started. Alright, let's focus here. Now let's focus. Don't make me rant about it. So, this right here, from me playing it, and also my backstory with everything I've tested in the past, like, this I think is a big deal. And I think that's the replacement for COI right there. Because I can play Legion without COI, and it's moving that haste back into Voidform, so it's far sooner in our damage cycle than COI was. So I think it's fine. I don't think we're gonna... It's still gonna have a little ramp, but I don't think it's gonna be a big deal. It's gonna be a small amount. And I think it's worth it. Like, play this. Alright, here's the thing. Take the tool. I'm gonna give you guys the link. Play with it yourself. You see what's fun. Compare it. I'm gonna give you my 2 settings. You can play with my 2 settings. The template's are already in there. I did do... Full disclaimer, the only thing I modified from the original templates is the base haste. So, stats. So the Alpha, I did 16%. The idea being, this is the haste percent I'm expecting pre-raid gear to be walking into the raid. We shall see. That's what BFA was. That's what Old Deer was. And Legion, it was, I'll just tell you, it's 25%. Okay, we had about 22-25% walking into Emerald Nightmare. So that's a base starting haste that's higher. You got Voidform haste that's higher. That's a big deal. And guess what? Guys, the stacks were the same. They were both like 23-24 stacks of Voidform. It has nothing to do with the length of the Voidform. I want a base Voidform to be around here and let it grow through the expansion, but that's another debate. We're not going to have that debate. Let's just start at this original starting point. Play this for yourselves. You can play the Alpha. Here you go. We're lucky we have this tool. But, like, see what else you like. I've just gotten into this. I can probably be here for days and start messing with stuff. Honestly, if I developed what was fun, they would never put it in the game. It would be, like, ridiculous. I'd be like, I want to play with the cap GCD almost all the time. But that's not the point of this. Point of this is play it, experience the Alpha, experience Legion, refresh your memory, build the 2 tabs like I did, play them side by side, and see what you think. And my assessment is, with the pet and power infusion, that 1 Voidform every 2 minutes will feel good. Fucking awesome. No, not really. It's not awesome. Alright. That's it for now. That's it. We're done ranting for now. Alright. Okay. So, before I go, a last thing about Power Infusion and the fact that it kind of maybe felt good towards the final few stacks of that Voidform on the Alpha simulator with my pet on top of it. That's not good. We shouldn't be relying on our power infusion for the only gameplay every 2 minutes. And by the way, we're gonna have to give it to a Warlock or a Fire Mage or a BM Hunter or like insert meta here, right? That's not okay. The spec, every global of the spec should be fun. We should feel Voidform the way it's meant to be felt, and I think I hopefully demoed some of that for you today. You can feel it for yourself, play it for yourself, play the two side by side, and you can maybe see what I'm talking about. Voidform's here to stay for now, guys. I need everyone to rally behind. How do we make Voidform like the best it can be so we don't have an 8.0? Because you paralyzed Blizzard with some of this feedback. We want this, we want that. Keep it simple for them. What is going to make this fun? And what is going to be fun is some of the stuff I'm talking about, and it's way easier to fix. Power infusion, lingering insanity, adjustments, baseline because otherwise the talent row's dead, haste on Voidform. Shit, if they just did that and fixed Void Bolt rank 2, shit, I'd be okay with it. I think that's enough to get by. I think we'll be generally happy, and the rest they can go fix, fine-tune later, maybe some tier gears, shit like that. Those are the big ones for me. I don't know about you, but play it for yourself. What's important to you? If you give Blizzard a mile-long laundry list of things to do for you, they're never gonna get it done. Think smaller, simpler, finer adjustments, and I guarantee you most of the people will be happy with how it plays. Legion played fine. It had problems with mass hysteria and the artifact weapon. That's no longer in the game. That had to do with damage more than anything else. Forget that. Play it. Play the simulator. See what you think. The answers are there, and I know you guys will put the time in. I hope you do.